Hey guys, Jim and Pokemon here. This will be the best BCBM I put together so far. Pokemon Go, oh my gosh, it has brought so many people back into the community just with the online forums, eBay, YouTube, just in general, just going out and about and seeing people play Pokemon, just bringing all the spirit back into it. It's just brought this community back to life. I'm so excited to put this together for you guys. I'll sort of talk about whatever comes to mind. I got Legendary Collection, I've got some loose cards, I got cards I got for my sets, cards I got to sell. I've got some Pop 1 Wizards of the Coast cards. Just an awesome video for you guys, so just stay tuned, and it might be kind of long, so throw it in your watch later if you want to, and come back to it, and we'll just get right to it. So, one of my pet peeves in these videos, guys, you see the two cards in the back, everyone always puts them up there, and you gotta wait to the end of the video to see them. Not anymore. Just do Jolteons, 2 unlimited Jolteons in PSA 10. Absolutely love this card. It's one of my favorites, probably Jolteon, Alakazam are way up there. Had to get these 2 for the collection, so we'll throw those in the back and we'll run through this. So I figured I'd just start off with some Legendary Collection cards. These are PSA 10s. Again, I'm building that 110 card set, and so got a Dark Blastoise, so we get that to focus. And again, the Legendary Collection came out in 2002. It's the first set with these reverse hollows, that firework sort of artwork reverse hollow. And these are all cards I picked up probably in the last like 3 to 4 months or so. Going for the full set here. I think I've got, I think it's like 74 is how many I have, so I have about 36 left to go. Overall, just a cool set. All the other reverse hollows didn't have this same pattern in the background, and I think that's why it makes this set so unique. For one, Wizards of the Coast, the original TCG for the English card collecting, producing these, and all the other reverse hollow sets just sort of being kind of plain in the background and not as just out there. There's a ton of other people going for this set. I think there might be 1 or 2 other complete like PSA 9, PSA 10 sets. I know I've got a side set that is partially 9 and 10, but the actual 10 set is it's way up there. Again, I recommend you guys look up this set if you aren't familiar with it. There have been a ton of new people come to the channel just asking general Pokemon questions. You know, what are my cards worth? You know, is this rare? Just people that were back in the 90s collecting and are just trying to get back into it. And so these are all recent Legendary Collection pickups. I'm going to set these off the side here. And then let's just go and dig into some loose cards here. I picked up I would call this Played. It's like a jungle set, but it's not in the best condition. I got this as a lot, as a first edition jungle set. And a lot of people struggle with going on eBay and just trying to find mint cards. And everyone's like, where do you get your cards? How do you get so many mint cards that are up there? And honestly, it's just grinding. It's out there looking on eBay, I'm asking questions. You know, I might get cards on Reddit or Craigslist. Be careful with those 2 sites. They're not as it's easier to get scammed on those. And Instagram's a great place to go too. And you know, if you look at the back of this, I think the seller lists these like near mint or mint, and you can tell right away. Like, I mean, these definitely have some condition stuff. I mean, that card looks pretty decent, but I've got this light that'll show all the sort of imperfections right away. But you know, it's hunting all the time, trying to find the cards, and you guys will be surprised how many cards I go through just to find cards to grade. I'd probably say less than half of the cards I buy, with all of them being listed as like mint to gem mint, are like even worth thinking about grading. Simply because with all the new people sort of getting back into the hobby, you know, they might look at this card and here, I'll just go and take this one out, and they might say, oh, I've got this first edition Clefable, it's mint condition, it looks great, but you know, truthfully, you know, if I pull this out, you can see some of those scratches right there right away. No way this gets a 10. You know, and the 10 grade in this is what's going to pull that $150, $200, depending on what the value is when you guys watch this video. And if you look at the back, you know, you can already see that edge wear up there. And normally I wouldn't even put my fingers on the cards like this, but I mean, this card I would say is an excellent to near mint condition. And so I'm trying to sort of talk about some things I think will add value for you guys, especially the newer people hopping back into the collecting and stuff. And so this set, I mean, I bought it as a big set. as a big lot from someone. I'll keep it. Probably won't sell it right away. I would lose money on it if I sold it right away, because clearly not a near mint set. But as an FYI, just be on the lookout for things you get on eBay, and just be careful. Always ask questions. In that same lot, I also picked up a Gyarados first edition. In my opinion, probably grade like a 7-ish or so. Pretty cool looking card. A Blastoise first edition. The guy was like, it'll get a 9 easy, and you can see at the top there, the Edgeware is already telling me like best chance it's going to get an 8. And this, I mean, this card I paid more than the PSA 8 price. So, but again, it was a big lot. There are a lot of other things in that too. So, 2 other cool pickups there. And what happened to these over here? So one of the side sets I'm going for is a lesser known set, and that's the, I think it's like the Energize Yourself or something, like Energies. And basically it's this reverse holo set. I think it was in 2001 or 2003, I can't remember, but it was basically during the era of Wizards of the Coast. And I've graded probably, I'd probably say I've graded maybe 30 of these cards, and I've not gotten one PSA 10. And so these cards actually sell for probably 30 bucks for this lot. And I found a guy on eBay that actually came out with like 8 lots of these, and he had them all listed for 10 bucks a piece. And just from looking for these cards over the years, that's a decent price, and so I just picked up all 8. I still haven't gone through them yet, and so I'll go through these and sort of pull out the best ones. I got this Brushfire theme deck. Not as familiar with what makes it Shadowless or regular. I think this is the regular one. It was going at auction pretty cheap, so I picked it up. Again, anything with Brushfire that's a theme deck, I'll pick up just for the chance of the no damage Ninetales with that rumor being out there still. So it's kind of like, who knows? It's sort of like a risk type of thing. Picked up 2 Charizards. These are pretty cheap. I think I got these for maybe less than 20 bucks a piece, and I don't know if you can tell with the condition there. I mean, that's a pretty brutal Charizard, but I mean, it still just looks good in a case. I can put that on a wall somewhere, pretty far away. You can't really tell if it's good or bad, but Charizard's a Charizard, and I think these will always sort of hold some value, even if they aren't in the best of shape. What else did we get? Oh yeah, I got, whoa, that's really close. Hold on. All right, had to make some room for that. This is a few different sets I bought from a guy in Canada. Just want to point this out real fast. This is the best way to ship cards, to wrap things in saran wrap. This guy I bought this Gyarados from, he put literally, like, this is tape. Putting tape on cards is like the worst thing you can do. It makes it so hard to unpackage. And anytime you wrap stuff up, you should always keep the end goal in mind that somebody has to take this card out, or I'll probably put this in the semi-rigid or something. But saran wrap is like the easiest thing to take out, whereas tape should never actually touch the cards. Tape should only be used on like the outside of the box. That's what a lot of people will say. Sometimes I'll use tape on bubble wrap just to keep it locked down, but just keep that in mind. Saran wrap is your best friend. All right, so it looks like we included a Pikachu World Collection with that. That's kind of cool. I think that's sealed, so I don't really want to open that up. And then I believe this is a set, or maybe a few sets, but it's supposed to be in like mint condition, so yeah, I'll see if we can pick this up without dropping the camera. So it looks like we got a Team Rocket set. That's pretty cool. Not the error. It's kind of a habit just from collecting errors that anytime I see a set, I always go immediately for the errors. Oh, and a Neo Genesis set. I think he said he pulled these out of the pack, maybe. And so he said that they all should be packed fresh. You'll see in some of my upcoming return videos that I'm grading a lot of unlimited, not unlimited, but non-holo cards. So looks like that's it. But Neo Genesis set. And these cards actually do look pretty good, so I'll go through and review those and figure out what I'm going to send off to grade. Alright, so next I figure we could just go through some sealed product I picked up. Again, I sort of contradicted myself earlier. It's like, I'll show you guys what's in the background right away, and then I proceed to leave a sealed item in the background. Which, I don't know if you guys could tell this was a sealed item, but lo and behold, yes, this just happened. We picked up a Legendary Collection Booster Box. Oh my gosh. So beautiful. Such a good looking box overall. It does have a little bit of a nick down here, kind of scrunched in a little bit, but this box is skyrocketed. I could sit here and I could tell you stories for days. So that said, I showed you guys in the middle, this is what it comes out of, this is what it looks like. This box back in the day, you know, we're buying for 200, 300 bucks a piece easily, you know, back in like 2010, 2011. Now this box is going for over 2K. It's insane. It's insane what sealed product has done recently, especially stuff like this. I did buy this with the intention of opening it. I do have more than one of these. I'm not in a rush to open it, I think, as you guys know, and so I'll probably let it sit for a little bit, and then if we hit like a lull or something, I'll pop it open. Some other sealed stuff I bought. I got a Jungle First Edition box. All the packs in here are weighed, and so you can see there's a bunch of sealed packs. I did open up one of them off camera, pulled a non-hollow Wigglytuff. I bought these because I figured if I ever graded the Jungle set, that it'd be good to just have some sealed packs you can pull cards out of. I think I paid roughly 10 bucks a pack or so, but after you get all the hollows and stuff graded, you gotta go after like non-hollows or whatever's next. I think the same seller did the same Rocket for Team Rocket, and so again, this box is weighed packs. I think there's like 24 packs or so in here. They're all weighed, but all non-hollow too. Again, pretty cheap. I don't sell weighed packs. I have weighed packs in the past, but I do not sell them. Some people ask for them, but it's kind of hard to track where they go, and so I just keep them sealed. I don't know what I'll do with them, but I know I had some comments on some other videos that were kind of like, you sell these? And the answer is no, I don't. I just put them in storage and let them sit there. Alright, so I got an Expedition box as well. Another box that's creeped up there. Good story about this. I think like 3 years ago, this was going for like 500 bucks, and I was adamant, so adamant to pay $450. I was like, it's not a $500 box, it's only $450. And today, if you see this for under $1,000, you're thinking right away it's probably not a bad deal. A fair deal, but not a bad deal. And so again, pretty cool pickup there. I bought these sort of as like, this one in particular as like an investment, just because Expedition is, I think it's the only Wizards of the Coast set besides Legendary Collection that's not complete. And so I always like to have a sealed box just as a reminder to complete a PSA 10 set. And so this was sort of to add value back to that. And this last box I think you guys will love, at least most people love. I thought it was a fair deal. I thought it was, I definitely didn't underpay. I don't believe I overpaid, but I did pick up a Neo Destiny First Edition box. This is the box that came out in, I think 2002, I believe. And from Wizards of the Coast, it does have all the shinings in there. It's like Shining Charizard, Shining Tyranitar. Really cool box. It's in decent condition, not too bad, but I figured this would be another staple for the collection. And I bought this more as like an investment piece. And when I say investment, these aren't things I'm looking to flip. So I'm not buying this looking to sell it like, you know, tomorrow for 500 bucks. This is something that I'm going to hold in my collection for like 5 years or so, and then I might consider selling it. When you invest in Pokemon, when you invest in things, you should consider holding it for the longer term. That's where you're going to get the most value back versus just buying and flipping. Flipping, you'll get different spurts. It's almost like gambling, but you won't win all the time. You know, when I bought this Blastoise that's loose, I didn't win on it, you know. I'm probably going to lose some money on it just from some of the wear that's on here. And so buying and flipping cards is a gambler's game. You know, investing in things, that's where you're going to get the most value with that Pokemon. And I didn't acquire all this stuff overnight, guys. A lot of guys are like, you know, how'd you get all this stuff? Oh my gosh. Well, I mean, as a reminder, you know, you could buy this box for less than 500 bucks not that long ago. And so just kind of keep that in mind when you see the overall sort of stuff that I have. Not all of it was purchased at the same price as you see today. All right, you guys ready for this? Take a deep breath. What happened to CrackRokMcCaib? Honest answer, he completed his collection. He had nothing else to pursue, and so he deleted his channel. What that means for this video is that sealed booster box you guys saw that was possibly shadowless, like 5-minute video I made maybe like 3 or 4 months ago, I actually traded to him for a lot of his loose shadowless cards. And so if you guys wonder what happened to that box, we ultimately ended up making a deal where he helped me out with a lot of shadowless cards. and I decided to go after the Shadowless set. I don't want to, you know, take you guys through all of these, but you know, you guys can see that, you know, a lot of these really rare Shadowless cards he had, and it sort of helped out. So I really did plan on opening that box. There were 1 or 2 indicators on it that sort of meant it might not be Shadowless. I think the Wizards of the Coast logos and one other thing on it, but I got a decent deal for it, so I was willing to take the risk. But that booster box is actually in his collection. He did shut down his channel. Again, can't really speak too much as to why he did that, but from what he told me, he completed his collection, and so he had nothing else really to present. He had a full 102 out of 102 card, or 103 out of 102 card Shadowless set, with the 2 extras being the Pikachus, and that he was sort of done. You know, he spent a lot of money on Pokemon, and he was happy with what he had, and you know, it is what it is. So this is the Shadowless. This is actually a non-hollow box, and so keep non-hollow. So I keep these boxes straight. And so I think in Shadowless I'm missing 9 cards for a complete set, one of those being the Dragonair. And these are the things that he traded me for, in addition to what I already have in storage. Also have, what do I have here? 4th print, got some cool 4th print non-hollow pickups. I am going for the 4th print set here. Pretty hard to find, and you can tell it's 4th print because at the bottom here it has that date, 1990-2000. Doesn't necessarily mean it was made in the UK, because we did find that US pack not too long ago that shows that some of these were made in the USA, but it was printed in 2000 versus the original 1990 date. And then also some unlimited base and first issue non-Hondio. Let's do this one too. I know you guys are thinking right away, Beckett, oh my gosh, who grades Pokemon cards with Beckett? Well, I decided to sort of mix the collection up a little bit. Just fair warning, PSA is the staple for the Pokemon card graded collection. If you want your cards graded, go PSA all the way. I'm going to talk about Beckett just a little bit here, but just know that PSA is ultimately going to hold your value better over time than Beckett. It's a very reputable company, etc., etc., but realize that it doesn't bring as much value for the same quality as PSA does. And so I'll show you guys a few Beckett cards. I'll make a few comments. All right, so pick these up online. They're actually at a fairly good price. This is the 4th print, and you can actually see it labeled at 4th print, which is pretty awesome. And I figured I bought these just to mix the collection up just a little bit. You can see it gives the subgrades as well, and it just sort of brings some more diversity to the collection. These 9.5s I'm not going to cross grade. I thought about it, and there might be 1 or 2 that I cross grade that just bring a high PSA value. I don't know. One of these being the Stark Persian right here, having all the 9.5 subgrades, easily a 3-figure card if he gets a PSA 10. But when it comes to Beckett, in my personal opinion, a Gem Mint Beckett card that's a 10, which means it has to have at least 2 subgrades of a 10 and nothing below a 9.5, is going to be better than a PSA 10 most of the time. But getting a Beckett 10 is really, really hard to do. So a PSA 10, which, so I'm pulling out here for you right now, a PSA 10, it has parameters that it has to be within it. So the centering doesn't have to be perfect, but it has to be within a certain parameter. So with Beckett, 9.5 is almost perfect centering. For PSA, that means it could probably get a PSA 10 almost every time. And so keep that in mind, that Beckett gets a little bit more specific, and PSA's 10 standard is more that, a standard that they've sort of outlined, and if a card meets that standard of a 10, it'll get a 10. Doesn't necessarily mean it's perfect, whereas a Beckett 10, where all the subgrades are 10, which is a black label pristine 10, that card is actually perfect. But that's almost impossible to do with Pokemon, baseball, football, Yu-Gi-Oh! I mean, getting a Beckett 10 that's pristine is it's near impossible. So if we all collected black label Beckett 10s, none of us would ever collect anything because they're just that hard to get. In my opinion, once you get below a 9.5 on Beckett, the value and the quality is just absolutely terrible, in my experience at least. I've owned a few different high-end Beckett cards, and it's just once you get below that 9.5, there's just something about the level of quality they look for in cards that just does not compare to a PSA. So a PSA 8, in my opinion, could be better than like a Beckett 9 in some cases. And again, I've gone through a few different examples that probably sway my opinion more or less one way versus another. And maybe those are just one-off occurrences. I'm not that experienced with Beckett, but that upper level, 9.5 to 10, is pretty good. Anything that's 9 and lower, it doesn't compare. So we'll just take this Jolteon, for example. I mean, you guys can see, like, right away. I mean, this is a Beckett 9. I mean, look at that edge wear, like, right over there. You can see some edge wear down there. You can see some edge wear up there. If I sent this to PSA, I would expect probably an 8, somewhere around that range. And you can see the center is a 9.5, but the edges got an 8.5. PSA, I mean, they're not going to be that lenient for these sort of lower quality cards when it comes to pretty visible edge wear and stuff. Another really good example of that, 2 other cards I picked up recently. I sort of debated showing this because it's going to hurt my ability to sell these later, and I do plan on selling these at some point, is this Charizard here. You can see it got a 9 centering, I mean, it's not bad. A 9.5 surface, which is really, really good, but I got it back at 8.5. And I bought this thinking, like, oh, it'd probably upgrade to a 9. The guy I bought it from, same guy I bought the this Blastoise from over here, was like, yeah, 9, no problem. I was like, all right, I feel pretty good, because I mean, PSA 9s are selling for $2,000 right now, whereas 8s are much lower and so forth. When I look at this card, I was like almost heartbroken. I was like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? How do you grade a card? Like, I mean, look at that edge wear. I mean, it's just so visible. It's deep too. It's not like, oh, you know, we're just slightly touching up here and it's not that bad. I mean, this card, it's still a good looking card, but like, I am crazy if I think I can cross grade this and get a PSA 9. Just my personal opinion. And again, the Venusaur, same way. It does have some edge wear down there, just way, way more than a PSA 9 would ever allow. And so these cards at 8.5 is going to be the best grade it can get, and in my opinion would be a PSA 8 or lower. So I won't cross grade these, but I do have some other cards I will cross grade that I'm at least looking into cross grading. I bought this card sort of on a whim. I thought it might have a chance for the OC grade, and I'll show you guys more about that in a little bit. Again, this isn't off-center enough. It won't get the OC grade, but I thought, hey, why not just look at it in person, see what it can do. I might cross-grade this, thinking about it. Don't really know this company. 96 is pretty high. I'm guessing out of 100 scale. And then if you turn this over, condition doesn't look that bad. Pretty solid. Decent chance for a 10. In my opinion, when I cross-grade, it's only going to cost like $8 or so if I send in bulk with, you know, some of these. $8 to risk this. Getting in a PSA 10 is well worth it because those are going at like $500 or so. Blastoise, again, solid grade to get a 9 on. I might not cross grade this just because there's not a lot of value for PSA 9 Chansey, and this probably isn't getting a 10. So, and PSA 8 Charizard, again, sort of an older Beckett card, but this PSA 8 actually looks pretty good, and so it's kind of hit or miss when you get to these lower grades. Edges are a 7, but you can see here the edges are so much better than the other card. I would cross grade this and maybe think I'd get a 9, because the worst subgrade on that's a 7 when there's not really that much visible edge wear. And on to some good stuff. Lugia. There's only one of these in a PSA 10 that's unlimited. The corners are, well, false advertising there. The corners actually don't look that bad, but I did buy this recently, hoping to get a PSA 10 cross grade. Even if it comes back as a 9.5 Beckett, because I'll put a minimum grade of a 10 on there, still worth a shot. You guys ready for this? These are some heavy hitters. Yeah, oh my gosh. Blastoise, Gem Men 10, Gem Men 9.5 Beckett's with all of the subgrades at a 9.5 or higher is pretty amazing. These came up on an off website. I picked them up pretty much right away. And the Blastoise recently has been selling so high, it's ridiculous. I did just get a Chansey, you guys will see here in a little bit, and so this will be a duplicate. But Blastoise, I do need this version of the stamp right here. And so, quick explanation of thick versus thin stamp. The one on the right is a thick stamp. Sorry if this video is getting kind of long, guys, just kind of a lot to talk about. So this one on the right over here, that's a thin stamp because it's the thin one. This is a thick stamp because it's a thick one. That's how it was explained to me by Gary, or King Pokemon, probably one of the biggest first edition base set collectors in the world. I'm going after a thick and thin PSA 10 set, and I'm missing the thin version of the Blastoise, which is this, and this has a solid chance to get a 10. Very hopeful because I didn't get the last Blastoise that was listed, and it sold for way above what I thought it would sell for. So high hopes there. Also got this Skarmory PSA 9, another card that's, I think it's Pop 0 or something, but it has a nick at the top, nick at the bottom. I mean, these are so close to factory nicks. Sometimes they let these go, sometimes they don't. Again, the card's not perfect, but these are factory. It's not like this card was played with. There aren't any scratches on this card, and this is one of the 4 Expedition cards I'm missing for a complete 96 hollow regular H-Series, E-Series set. So hopeful for this, but again, I think there's probably a 10% chance it might get a 10, just because the factory nicks are sort of, they're up there. If you guys have hung out this long, you guys are in for a treat, because this video is about to get a whole lot better. A little bit less explaining, a little bit less talking, and we're going to get into some cool stuff, so we're going to fly through these. I got both of these cards from a guy named Graded Groudon. I recommend you guys check out his website. I think he's based in the eastern half of the world, and so like Europe, Africa, Asia, he sort of touches that market. I was looking online one day and I was trying to find some cards I was missing, and I came across his website. He has actually a good bit of PSA cards listed for sale. Found 2 pretty hard to find cards that I was missing. You can see the Unlimited Dark Tyranitar from Neo Destiny, and then this is the, I think this is the gold Aerodactyl pre-release. There's a brown and a gold version, PSA 10. This actually truly completed my pre-release set to having the highest grade, and this Unlimited Neo Destiny Tyranitar actually completed the Unlimited Neo Destiny Holo set that I needed. So I actually have a Master Neo Destiny set, Unlimited First Edition, as far as just all the Holos and the Shinings, etc. Go and check him out. His name's Graded Groudon. If you just go to gradedgroudon.com, you can see what he has for sale. So very pleased with that. And ready for the speed run? Alright, first edition base set Chansey, thick stamp, needed that one. And these are all cards I needed for my sets and stuff, so these aren't really investment pieces, these are just like me collecting. Clefairy, 1999-2000, PSA 9, looking to upgrade to a 10 if there's one out there. Venusaur, 4th print, 1999-2000. Mr. Mime, oh my gosh, you guys have been following me. You guys know how long I've been looking for this card. No symbol, PSA 10, wow. I paid like over $400 for this card. Yeah, this was, I mean, I'm 1 card away from the complete no symbol set, with it being Jolteon's last card in need. Oh my gosh, cannot believe I found this card. I got it like maybe like 2 months ago from a girl out in California. Kangaskhan, Unlimited Jungle PSA 10, Unlimited Jungle. How many people do you guys see with Unlimited Jungle cards? Hardly any, because they're, again, hard to grade. Jungle set, one of the hardest sets to grade out there. Pidgeot, Unlimited PSA 10s. These are all cards I did not have for the collection, so these are all sort of going in there. I know when I first started the channel, I didn't show hardly any of the cards that went for the sets. I sort of just showed the sets once I completed them. Again, most of these are unlimited. I think this might be a Pop 1 card, Blaine's Arcanine, or maybe 2 now, I don't know. Azumarill, Neo Genesis Unlimited, very tough set to grade. And everyone goes after first edition because everyone preserved first edition, but everyone played with Unlimited, much harder to find. Like Dragonite, I did get this before the Dark Tyranitar, so this is the second to last card needed for that set. Legendary Collection, yes, indeed. I did not grade this card myself. I had to buy it from someone. He sucked. I mean, he got me good on it, but this was a Pop 1 card once it was first released. There is another copy out there. I did acquire that as well. Again, more of an investment piece. Legendary Collection, you guys know, is easily one of the hardest sets to grade by far due to silvering issues, etc. So crossing this card off the list was sort of a dream come true, in my opinion. Another Legendary Collection card, Dark Persian PSA 10. And then here's some of the Energize Your games. So this is one I didn't already have in the collection. I'll show you PokeTour. Love these sort of variant cards, Roses of the Coast. There's not that many of them out there as far as just like one-off cards here and there outside of promos. But I'm starting to pick up some of those too. Australian Poke Tour, there aren't that many out there as far as just this card in particular. There's a lot of 9s, but not a lot of 10s. And then what is this? Oh, this is the, not the, I think this might be the Galaxy foil. You can see the foil is a little bit different for this Machamp. Not as, I mean, it's a little bit harder to find, but I picked this up for an okay price. But again, just a variant of the Machamp that's out there. Yep. And next up, I think I showed this one earlier, Masaki Gengar. Again, big Gengar fan. Don't collect a whole lot of Japanese. I grade some Japanese here and there, but don't really collect a whole lot of Japanese. But this artwork, in my opinion, beautiful. It was at auction. I got it for a decent price, below what I thought it was worth, and so I'm very, very happy to get that card. Full art Charizard. Again, the first full art Charizard out there. How can you not love the PSA 10? Did a trade with one of my friends on Instagram. I traded him a shiny card and a 4th print Pikachu for these two. I do have a full art PSA 9 collection. I think the 10s are just a little too pricey for me, with it being new and not really assert the risk and the value and different things. So I figure 9s are a little bit less risky, usually between 15 and 40 bucks for a 9 for most newer cards. And so these were kind of cool pickups there. Again, you can see that shine on those, like wow, all those colors. And then No Stage Blastoise PSA 9, pretty cool. And let's go on and hop into some error cards. Those of you that have been with me for a long time know that I love errors. Big PSA error collector. So if I see an error, I try to pick it up. And I mean, this isn't an error, I'd say this is just a card with a stain, ST. Decent price, picked this one up. Same thing, it was actually in a lot together. This is the first edition promo Pikachu. I think they call this the Ivy Pikachu. Pretty good pickup, in my opinion. The pricing's been pretty stagnant on this for a while, so I figured it was just a decent value buy, if that makes sense. Wartortle, PSA 9. You can see it's got the stage error up here, evolves from Squirtle, but that's definitely Wartortle. So PSA 9. Shining Steelix, I got this from a guy in Europe. So you're trying to think about what the error is right away. It's this little line going through it. So we're not really too sure what that is. We talked about it a little bit. I still don't really know what this error is. I mean, I don't really know, because it's not necessarily a print line, because the line is thicker. I mean, it could be a print line, but it's just thicker than a normal, like what you would normally see. And sorry about this light, guys, but I sort of let you guys just see. Yeah, it's hard to see. But I figured we'd get it and maybe try to do some more research, see if it's rare. But cool pickup, first edition Steelix there. All right. And Ninetales, no damage, PSA 6. Yeah, this card is rare, hard to find. Quick example here, this guy actually taped his card up. He had bubble wrap, but he taped it, like he put the tape like really close to the card. It was really hard for me to open, and I actually caused this scratch right here when I was opening it, so I'll get this recased before I put it in the collection and stow it away. But don't let tape touch the cards, guys. Just keep it on the outside of the box. Prime example of what can happen if you damage your cards. And the OC cards. Yes, love the OC cards. Clefairy first edition. Alakazam base set, PSA 9 OC. Whoa, it just got hot. Typhlosion, PSA 9 OC. Beautiful card there. That's so cool. Alright, if you guys haven't paused the video and taken a bathroom break or gotten popcorn yet, I do it right now, because it's just going to keep getting better. Alright, next up is a PSA 7 miscut versus the OC. So, what's the difference between OC and miscut? OC does not show another card on this. Miscut shows another card at the bottom. There's another card that's visible. So miscut is more OC than OC, if that makes sense. It's more off-center to where you actually get the other card versus OC. I have no idea why this got a 7. I talked to the guy that sold it to me. We looked it over multiple times. We couldn't figure out why. It looks just the same condition as the other one. Probably sent in for a regrade, try to figure out why I got a 7, because this definitely deserves a 9 miscut. And this next card coming up is something I've kept private for a long time. These are 3 cards I acquired recently, but I haven't shown any of them publicly. People know I have them, but I haven't shown them yet. And these are the base set PSA 9 OC cards. This is a Poliwrath. I just got this from a friend on Instagram, Pokemon Master 556. And you can see that this card is off center. Also got the Zapdos and the Venusaur. And so in total in my collection I have over half of these. And you may be asking, why am I covering up these cert numbers? These are true like Pop 1 cards. There might not ever be another one of these cards out there that's OC like this. And I'm still debating on whether or not to show certain numbers on these Pop 1 cards. I don't really have a reason not to. It's just, you know, it just makes it harder to fake, harder to reproduce. Whereas I can look up that certain number and I know it's going to show the Venusaur OC right away. I don't know if it's, I don't really know why I shouldn't show these, but until I sort of get a better feel, I'm just sort of keeping them private, because I know the guy before me never really showed them, and they're not out there. So I figured for the time being we'd just keep it the way it is. But if you guys have any thoughts, let me know, and then you know, see what you guys think. Last part of the video coming up. Easily the best part. Get ready. So for those of you that don't follow me on Instagram, I made a video over there recently that showcased a rather impressive PSA Charizard collection. All of which were purchased in probably the last 4 or 5 months or so. I didn't really show any of the grades, didn't really show a whole lot about it, but right now we're going to whip through all those Charizards to show you right away what they are. And if you guys don't follow me on Instagram, please feel free to. I'm much more active over there. I can sort of take a picture or a quick video on the fly, whereas making a YouTube video, it sort of takes, you know, 5-6 hours sometimes, just from rendering the video, editing a few things, and etc. So without further ado, here we go. This is a PSA 9 Expedition Charizard. It's got the stain on there. Again, not really sure where the stain is, but again, love errors. So next up, we have 3 Charizards. Can you tell right away what these are? No real special labeling or anything, but you can see right here at the bottom, it's got that 4th print, 1999-2000 date. Such a rare card. This PSA 6, I mean, this goes for over $100 as is. I think there's a PSA 8 listed on eBay for like $450 or so. I mean, these are very, very highly sought after, rare variants of Charizard. Again, not exclusive to the UK. There were some in America. I think the Hollows might be exclusive to the UK. Haven't verified that part of it yet, but very, very rare Charizard variant. Again, I know I show you guys in the videos all the time, but easy way to tell the difference. See the different colors right there. Very easy way to tell. All right, keep on going. Got some base set 2 Charizards. I don't know what it was, but I think a ton of people just listed Charizards for either low prices or just auctions, or maybe there was a ton listed at once. Maybe everyone was on like summer vacation or something, where they just stopped like looking for Charizards, and I sort of just, hey, if there was a good deal, we just sort of picked it up. So that's what I did for a few months. Again, it's Charizard. You can't go wrong with Charizard. PSA 9, Legendary Collection, Excellent 5. I got a really good deal for this. I'm sort of partial Legendary Collection. Just love the set. And so had to pick it up. I think these next little bit here, these are all hollow versions. These are all Legendary Collection PSA 9 hollows. Again, I haven't shown you these on video before. They are on my Instagram, but I didn't show the grades on Instagram. So love the Legendary Collection set. And you can also see the colors different there too. It's a little bit lighter versus the base set Charizard. Alright, this is where things start getting a little bit better. I know they've been good so far, but it's going to keep getting better. Charizard PSA 8 first edition. This is the thin stamp. It's got the thin one. Even though it's a thicker looking ink spot, it's a thin one. Legendary Collection Charizard 8.5. PSA 9 Legendary Collection Charizard. Just love these reverse hollows. Blaine's Charizard. This is unlimited. But why is this really rare? Again, it's that corrected version, where right here it shows the fire symbol, whereas the majority of the print run, it was the fighting symbol. So this version is much, much harder to find. Shadowless Charizard. This is also part of the deal with CrackRokMcCaibs. When I traded him the booster box, he traded me 5 PSA 9 Shadowless Charizards, which these are 5. Yeah, this is 5. So cool. And you can tell it's shadowless because, again, it's missing the shadow from the right-hand side and the bottom. Pretty rare variant. Sorry if my camera keeps focusing, guys. I'm looking down noticing that. But really, really cool. And we can't stop there. We can't end the video there. One of the cards I've been missing for a really, really long time has been this card. It's an epic card. Me waiting to buy this cost me well over $1,000. Instead of buying it back in 2012 or so, I waited, and I just couldn't find it for whatever reason. And this card is the Shadowless PSA 10 Charizard. Oh my gosh, is this card hard to find. It's impossibly hard to find. It used to be you could find it for $1,000, $1,400, whatever it was. You just had to pay for it, which was, again, it felt like a lot, but like, oh my gosh, to have this knocked off is just feels so good. And this was the last card I needed for the Shadowless PSA 10 set, so going to cross that off. And you think that this might cap off the video, and you're thinking, what could be better than a Shadowless PSA 10 Charizard? Well, you know, there were a lot of first edition Charizard auctions that came up recently, and I picked up another first edition Charizard. And so you can see that they both don't have the shadow. Every first edition Charizard is shadowless. You can see it's that way there. And yeah, this is the holy grail. I mean, this is big card. And so again, I did buy this as an investment piece. I talked about flipping earlier in the video. I have no intentions of just selling this right away for a quick profit. Again, I'm going to put this in storage with the rest of my cards, and you know, we'll take a look at it in 5-10 years, and we'll see where the price of Charizard is. But you know, this is sort of an investment of mine. I'm a collector. I'm a fan. I love these cards. But again, you know, when you're spending this kind of money on a card, you're looking for some long-term value, and so that pretty much tops off an epic BCBM video. I don't even want to look at the final time because it's been recording like 10-minute segments, but oh my gosh, like these two cards alone are pretty epic. I think you guys know me well enough, though. We can't stop there. I did promise a Pop 1 Wizards of the Coast holographic card that I've been looking for a very long time. Some of you may be able to guess what it is right away. And I couldn't believe it when I found it. The guy that actually got it graded approached me and was like, hey man, do you want to buy it? And well, here it is. Oh my gosh. PSA 10 Legendary Collection Charizard. I do not want to say how much I paid for it. It was definitely way up there. And I'm very proud to say this is the only Wizards of the Coast Charizard that's Pop 1. So every one of these other cards, you know, there's probably 30 of these, and you can see this one's not even labeled Shadowless, so you know the Shadowless counts off. I think there's almost 100 of these. This is a holographic Charizard printed by the same, you know, company for the first 5 years or 4 years. And this is the only copy out there, or at least it's the first copy for now. And so I'm just ecstatic to say, put this in the collection. I'm just speechless. I think you guys know I've been going for this for so long. I opened up booster boxes, you know, packs, looking for this card. Pulled this card fresh out of the pack. Still got a 9. Then you can see all the 9s we go through. This is the highlight of the collection. And in my opinion, if this card was in a video by itself, it would outweigh everything else you guys have seen in this video so far. I want to thank you guys so much for subscribing, so much for watching. I appreciate all the support. I appreciate all the questions. I do try to answer all the questions that come. There's been a lot of questions recently, and I've been sort of busy. I'm trying to catch up on those. The best way to contact me is by jimmintpokemon@gmail.com if you just have a question. There's also a website. It's called E4 Pro Boards. It's the pretty much the Pokemon collector forum for all the top end collectors. It's where we all talk and, you know, share info about knowledge and stuff. And that's just the letter E, the number 4 spelled out, .proboards.com. I also recommend you guys check out another guy. His name is Scott. His channel is smpratte, smpratte. He's making some videos about Pokemon investing and things that he's been going through, as far as just value investing and rare cards. And he's been doing this much longer than I have. He's the guy that has the Illustrator on eBay for that 5 figures or 6 figure sum. I'll put some links down for some of the things I've talked about. If you guys have any questions, let me know. Thank you guys so much for watching. Much appreciated. Get some sleep.